Hello, everyone. Welcome to Screenplay Sunday. We're back again, if you can believe it. What we do is we write a script and we get a bunch of randoms to read it. We're joined by our big media company producers and special guest, Hamish Blake.
Thank you so much. Honoured to be a random.
You're welcome. So, what was the last table read that you ever did, Hamish Blake?
That's a great question. Last table read. I mean, we do. I don't do a lot of scripted stuff, but I like sometimes. I can give you probably a super boring answer and a vaguely interesting answer. Right. Super boring answer is like sometimes me and Andy for our podcast have to do. Well, we don't have to. We love making small videos for whoever's sponsoring the podcast. And the last one we did was like an Amy video. But because it's an insurance company, you have to kind of loosely script it and show them what you're going to say, just so it's not us running around the streets just smashing windows going, Amy will pay for it, or something that they just don't want to be associated with. So you do have to kind of like loosely script something in Final Draft, which is the program we're using here. And so that's a pretty boring one. But then probably before that, the last table read I would have been back when we were making our show True Story, where we would have had to sit down and, every time we wrote an episode, we'd go through and, make sure it was roughly about long enough. Actually, the final table reads, you're pretty much just going through cutting out things that seem expensive. That's the final stage of making any drama in Australia, where you go, here's the script we wrote, and then they go, great. That's got 31 locations in it. Mm-hmm. How do we do it with 6? And here you go, okay, all right, we can condense that a bit. And that's
what
probably
about
last.
Energy? How much energy do you bring to a table read?
People... no one really trains you how to do it. I'm sure you do if you go to drama school and stuff, but no one ever really trains you how to do a table read, and it can always be a bit of a tricky one. Mm-hmm. I don't think I've done a table read for a part that I was actually going to play. So, like a True Story, you do a table read, but I'm not playing any of those characters. So I'm just reading the parts for time, essentially. So it doesn't really matter what you're doing. But I remember the first time I ever did a table read for a part that I was legitimately going to be playing on a different day, because a lot of the time you'll turn up to set, and if you've got a small part on someone's show or whatever, if you're doing a character, you hopefully know your lines. I usually was just like furiously trying to learn them in the makeup chair. But then on set, you might do a quick read, you might do a quick run through of the scene before you do it, but that's not really a table read. So the first time I ever did a table read for a part that I would have actually played was for a pilot that Sean McAuliffe was doing, I reckon 15 years ago, like 12, 15 years ago. And it was a really funny show, but it never happened. It was called McAuliffe 24/7 or maybe 23/7. And it's where McAuliffe sort of played a version of himself as like a, it was probably a bit partridgey, like in a sense that he was like a retired or like a washed up talk show host, or had a talk show, maybe a bit Larry Sanders-esque, like he had a talk show, but his life was sort of falling apart. And so in a bid to rejig interest in him, reality show cameras were following him around. Mm-hmm. And so there was some super funny people at the table read, because it was like for Channel 10, and that was a thing to go like, here's what the episode would be like if you commissioned it. So that was the first time I was ever, and I had like I might have even had one line. I played a production assistant on his Tonight Show. So I actually think for the scenes that we read at the table read, in that episode, there was a few episodes. I had some good stuff later on in episode 2, but we only read episode 1, and I think all I said was traveling. So it was honestly like I sat there the whole time, I'm glad I didn't have much to do, because I could see, I think Steve Curry was there, and like experienced actors, I could see them doing their table read and like following along, and then someone reads the big print and just all the stuff I didn't think I'd even really see the script. And so when I was glad that I didn't have much to do. The scene was something along the lines of like, the executive producer came in and was saying to McAuliffe, like, last night at 10:06, that's where our ratings spiked. Like, what were you doing at 10:06 on the show? And someone's like, well, we'd have to check the tape. And then someone looks at me and I go, traveling. And I'm off to get the tape. And
And they even bothered to actually have you on the table for at the table for that.
I drove all the way into the Como Centre, Channel 10, got there early, hanging out, had a security pass, sitting down, got my water, got my peanuts, my M&Ms, sitting there. Yeah, if you've got a line, you have to be at the table read.
Just practicing, just walking around, travelling.
Yeah, travelling. Anyone want a drink? Yeah, travelling.
And was the general vibe in that room, was it fun? Because
super
there's
fun.
been a bit
I
of
loved it.
tension for this show.
Oh, has there? Okay. Because I felt, well, at that stage, I felt like a bit of a competition winner because I'm like, oh my God, it's McAuliffe and Steve Curry. And I honestly felt like that thing where they get local voice talent to do one scene in a Pixar movie or something. So you can just win a role. You can be a teddy bear in Toy Story 6. If you win Disney's
being the
competition.
voice of iPhone, do you think that's up there? That's pretty...
Yeah, that's not really winning a competition, mate. That's global casting. That was huge. Fallon and Justin Timberlake did those ads in America. So when they came to Australia, they were like, "Get me Australia's Justin Timberlake."
And so, GB, you bring this up because you have some audio that you've given.
So we've done 2 episodes of this, Hamish. The first episode we had Ryan Shelton on, which was great.
Great way to kick
learned
it
some
off.
industry tips and that sort of thing, and it was a really fun vibe. Then the next week, we had pretty much this cast plus Tommy Jackett, and
Gotcha.
It was all good, but there was a little bit of tension that happened before the show with Tommy kind of trying to hurry this thing up, and so I talked about this on Hump Day Replay, and so I just wanted to clear the air just so we can set the intention for this show that we're going to have fun.
Okay,
And,
so this is audio. So
cool.
you've given me some audio from the daily talk show, the Sunday episode, after we did Screenplay Sunday. So I'll play that now for context. We had Screenplay Sunday that we recorded, and I'm in a conundrum because I don't think it was a very good episode.
Yeah.
What? No,
What?
Hang on. Jess isn't here to defend her script writing.
Well, no, I feel like you were cock blocking me. You're like, come on, everyone, let's fucking hurry up, let's go. And then we're fucking making jokes, and you're fucking telling us off about it. I don't know.
I've been kicked off the show. That's what's happened here, guys.
Yeah. The spirit of it is it's meant to be fun, and I didn't feel like I had fun.
Well,
that's how I
no
feel.
arguing with feelings. Feelings are what you're experiencing. So I'm sorry you felt like that, mate.
So I sound like a real bitch, don't I?
That sounds like. I don't know what else Tommy could say there, but it's a problem that obviously you need to address there, Josh. This is. I feel like I've come in at a real pivotal point here because at the moment it's 1-1 in terms of did Josh have fun, did Josh not have fun, and whatever happens today will be the tipping point, and that will be the winning team, and that will be trend. Will I going to be trending in a good direction, or the only episode you have fun will become an anomaly, and then this will be known as Screenplay Sunday as the time that Josh doesn't have any fun.
Exactly. No, this is a pivotal moment. GB and I talked about after doing episode 2, and it was one of those things where it's finished episode 2, wasn't very good, and then you messaged me and said, "Hey mate, we'd love to come on episode 3." I'm like, this is fucked. We've gone Ryan Shelton, and then we've got Hamish Blake episode 3, and episode 2 is Jess not knowing who plays what character, and Tommy saying, "Let's hurry up, I've got to go." It was an absolute nightmare.
And it was probably more you reckon a table read of Neighbours these days, I imagine, where they're all just bickering, going, "Who cares? Who cares? Let's just do it on the day." I doubt they do table reads for Neighbours.
Really?
I would be. Oh yeah. Yeah. Unless I'm mistaken, there would.
Unless I'm mistaken.
It would just be here's 8 episodes that we're shooting today, and you'd be like, "Yep, no worries," and you just flick through and learn your lines and do your thing. It's tricky. I'm not taking anything away from the acting prowess of the actors that are on Neighbours, but I just don't think there's time for a table read. I think it's pump it out, pump it out, keep the United Kingdom happy.
No, I get it. And so we want this to be fun, but we also want it to be professional as well, which is why you're here. At GB, so we had a bunch of discussions around what we need to do, and so GB, you're going to bring an industry fact each week so that people feel like they're actually learning something. What's the industry fact for this week?
So it's kind of more of an industry shout out, I guess. And if this can be a bit of a workshop. If these facts aren't good enough, then I can come back with better ones next week. But basically, happy birthday to Susan Sarandon. She was born in 1946.
That's a good
American
fact.
actress from Dead Man Walking, The Client, also known for her social and political activism. And she's born in Queens, New York.
All right.
And happy wedding anniversary to Gregory Peck, who got married in 1942. Although he did die in 2003. Gregory Peck, of course, known for his role in To Kill a Mockingbird.
Sure.
There's a couple of facts there.
Big Greg.
It's more of an on this day, I suppose.
Yeah.
What do we think?
He's
of the-
he's
I'm not
probably
getting
had
much.
more enjoyable wedding anniversaries than today.
Hey, what do you think? Like, is there any feedback to George GB on how he can be spitting out that sort of bringing some industry?
That's not
we can scrap it.
I don't want to speak for the whole group here, but I found that actually by thinking of people like Susan Sarandon and Gregory Peck, you do get it more into the actor's mindset, don't you? And you start to realise that simply by stepping into this script and over the brink, you are joining your brothers and sisters in thespianism, and that's a great thing. That helps us. It reminds you the sacred pact that you're taking, which is to give your role and your character everything you've got.
And have fun as well.
Well, have fun, yeah, sure. If that's the kind of thing that you enjoy, but maybe at the end of today, you might just find that acting is not what you don't enjoy it, and maybe that's why you're not having any
surely
fun.
it's got to be fun. Like, this is what I want. Like, this is the thing. I haven't done a table read before, and so
It doesn't have to be fun. I mean, if you're into acting, it's fun. But I mean, if just getting mauled by a bear on set wouldn't be fun for everyone, but it's fun for Leo because he loves acting and he wanted to be mauled. He wanted to do his very best.
Well, I saw behind the scenes of Schitt's Creek, and they looked like they were having heaps of fun. And then I went out and I
It's
also
an Emmy Award-winning comedy, and they've acted their whole life and have literally summited the pinnacle of the industry. So that
surely
would be
we
fun.
can create some of that today. You know, that's what I'm going for.
But you're right. The compass is internal, though. We're not looking for external validation. You got to be happy with if this matches your hopes and dreams for fulfillment, then it will be fun.
Okay. So
No
GB, you've written the script this week.
I've written the script.
Can I just ask? Does it go round? We take it in turn? So
This is what was decided. But yeah, go on.
Jess, I feel like you're unfairly slandered before. Would that be a fair thing to say?
Yeah, especially because it's the first time that he's actually voiced that concern from last week. You never actually called me out as being part of the problem for episode 2. It was always just Tommy's rushed approach to what we were doing.
Well, if I may, Josh, I did.
Mistake. What happened was I thought in my mind, I thought I had everyone's characters down pat because the way I wrote it was that I wanted everyone to play a really important role, and they all needed talking scripts and that kind of thing, equal parts. And I stuffed up. I got in front of the camera and I kind of got nervous and I misplaced everyone. And
But she also
so I
didn't
apologise
do
for
a
that, Josh. I
replace
didn't mean
of.
it.
She also didn't replace all the characters' names. So I was switching
one.
between the character name and my name Josh, which is very confusing when you're reading a script.
Did
but I understand.
you bring this up? So this is the first you've heard of this, Jess?
It is, yes. I mean, I internalized it because I took that as a learning away from last week's episode. I was like, I should have been more prepared, but
And Jess went to NIDA, didn't you? Did you go to NIDA, or what's the? What did you say?
1 week of NIDA.
She did 1 week of NIDA, which was a
Well, they
shock
can't
to
teach
us.
you everything in 1 week. They probably probably consistent character naming is week 2 or something. Like you can't do the whole thing.
Isn't that just
We
word
never covered
processing?
table
Just
reads
Command F, replace all. Anyway, so what we decided on was that GB and I would be in charge of the script writing, just to take the pressure off everyone.
So you've taken it away from just so it's not rotated around anymore. Jess is that's it.
Yeah.
One mistake.
Yeah. We just
Can we just say, Josh, you haven't written a script in the first 3 episodes.
Did I not
So-
write the first one?
You wrote the first
You
one.
did
I
write
wrote
the
the
first
first
one.
one. Yeah, thank
Oh,
you.
really?
Yes.
Okay, sorry,
Yeah.
my bad.
It was so good.
Okay, well, that's
And
so you're doing next week?
Yes, yeah, I am.
Okay,
And so
great.
what we're planning on doing, Hayne,
I think I see what's happening here. I don't know if I mean I feel like there might need to be a little bit more collaboration going on here,
have you
if
seen
I
my
may.
keyboard? Like, I'm
No.
ready to do this.
But I can spot patterns at a year 4 level, which is week 1, Josh writes the script, Josh is happy. Week 2, Josh doesn't write the script, he's not happy. Week 3, he's back writing the script, he might be happy.
No, GB is writing the script.
Oh,
and
well, you
GB
did say you guys were co-owning it.
Yeah, and so we are co-owning it. And so the idea is that we want this to be a feature film by the end of it. And so
Yep.
it needs some cohesion. I think Jess did a fantastic job. Can I just say that, Jess? Like, it was actually very good.
Thank you.
It was funny. It was compelling and all that sort of thing. But Tommy ruined my mood. And so, but I'm taking responsibility for this now. And what I'm going to say is that we're trying to take control of it, not control in the way that you're saying, Haim, where it's overbearing or overpowering. I just want everyone to have fun. And so, are you having fun?
Yep.
Are we all having fun?
We're having fun.
You have to ask.
Yes.
97, are you having fun?
Maybe we'll see. give me another
Sounds
15 minutes. Yeah.
sounds a little
Don't
bit
have to
like
do
a
any
command.
accents today, mate.
Okay, well, I suppose the real challenge would be by the end of this, can you have fun whilst relinquishing oversight? You know, can you allow yourself to have fun in someone else's whole script?
Which I think I can. I think GB's passionate. He's excited about it. And the first thing that we do is, GB, you're going to say the title of the script. If everyone can grab their script, you're going to say the title. Mm-hmm. And Haim, you've got to guess the premise based on what the title is. GB, what is the title of today's script?
So the title is Antarctica. And can I just say, Jess, your script from last week isn't completely ruled out. There are links. I reckon the first 3 episodes, including this one, there is a link between them all, and the feature film will still go ahead with the same characters and that sort of
So can I ask, every week the script name is different, but then like Voltron, it will all connect together into one major script that will then, I assume, have its own name
Yes.
once all the
Exactly.
parts connect.
They're kind of scenes, I guess. So the scene is called Antarctica. I don't know
This
if they
scene is
name
called
scenes
Antarctica.
in films.
I suppose you can. No, I don't either. But is same characters from last week? Is it like does the story continue? The characters continue?
The story, continues in a way. It all relates.
So is
There are a
Dale
couple
in
of
it?
the same
So
characters.
because GB Ryan Shelton played Dale on Ep 1 and decided that he would have an English accent. Will that continue?
I can say that Hamish will be playing Dale.
Okay.
All right, mate. Looking forward to busting out the old Cockney.
Wow, it's like
I think
Dale's
Ryan
back.
went for the same.
Yeah. I think
same
you've got
English
it's
accent.
literally
Yeah.
like a
It's way more fun to do than a posh one. And my brother-in-law, I'm essentially talking like my brother-in-law Andy, and so I've got practice.
Great.
And so the title is GB.
Antarctica. So do we
Antarctica.
all want to guess, or should we just...
Yeah. What do you?
I'm vibing hidden base. There's like a hidden science base, possibly Russian. Now that I feel like I'm John Edwards. I'm just like, why am I getting
A.
Russian? Yeah. What does Russian mean to you? There's a Russian base in this for sure somewhere.
And Jess, what do you think the premise would be?
I think Dale's taken his lotto win from last week to travel to Antarctica.
Okay, that's great. Grace?
I think Dale and Wendy's relationship might be going cold. You know, Antarctica. That
Oh,
cold,
that's
yeah.
great. And Mr.
It's
97,
geez.
Down, yeah.
before
Oh,
we
that
ask
is
you, are
great.
you
That's
having
gone
fun?
south. That's good.
I'm having fun. I'm
Okay.
having fun.
Grace, that's really good. Relationship's gone deep south.
Yeah. I think similar to Jess, potentially like an expedition across Antarctica.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
How much did Dale? I mean, now I'm just learning that Dale's had a big windfall. How much did he win in the lottery?
Did you win
60
Did you win
million.
60 bill? I think you won 60.
60 bill.
Mil.
Million.
I was going to say,
Million.
with Bill, he's buying Antarctica.
What do you reckon Antarctica's worth?
I don't know if it's for sale, but I actually would say, just due to its importance to the planet, I'd say you really wouldn't want to be selling it for any less than a trill, to be honest.
Who owns Antarctica?
No, it's internationally
Sorry.
agreed upon. You can't own it. That's the whole vibe.
Oh, okay. Did we all know that?
I think.
Yeah,
thought
I mean, well, there's
countries have
part-
jurisdictions.
Countries.
Like
So you
countries
get-
have
you-
like
you-
specific parts.
You get, there's the International
Australia has a
Antarctic
bit, don't we?
Treaty. Yeah, we've got the Ross Ice Shelf, mate. Everyone knows that.
Really? Who's Ross?
One of the early explorers. There's a bit of Mawson, there's a bit of Ross down there. There's a bit of everything sort of like named after the early explorers. But yeah, it's kind of like a national park. It's like you can have sections of it,
Great.
under like an international treaty to do sign. I think it's basically all the countries that are closest to it. So like you've got to, I think you get more of a claim if you're kind of near it. That's why we've got quite a large chunk.
I mean, you've done some strange traveling, like going to like war zones and things like that. Have you ever been to Antarctica?
Never have. Always wanted to. It's on the list. We looked at one stage. We were looking at perhaps going to do the radio show down there and doing it for the scientists, which would have been a lot of fun. But we got the vibe that like if you're going to all that effort to go, there has to be sort of stuff to do. And I think a lot of Antarctica is just it's just getting through it, like just hanging out and surviving
snorkeling and stuff.
In a small hut. So I think after just like getting across how cold it was outside, it just seemed like there might not be enough to fill a week. But on a personal level, certainly I've got it in my sights.
Okay, great. GB, do you want to tell us who's playing who today?
Right. So like Josh did in week 1, as the script writer for the week, I've actually written myself out of this script.
Okay.
And I'm just,
wow.
You guys are, I'm just going to watch and see how this script comes to life. So, Hamish, you'll be playing Dale.
All right, mate.
Yep. Josh, you'll be playing Brian.
Uh-huh.
Mason, you are Bushranger Steve.
Okay, great.
Grace, you're Wendy.
Okay.
And Jess, you can read the big print.
Okay, great. And so do we... you've given me a sound effect, GB.
Oh, yeah.
What do you want me to do with it?
So with the sound effect, you just have to pick the right moment to play it out. We've got one sound effect and you just have to guess when.
Okay.
Just feel it out, basically.
Okay. Do you actually have it in the script? Does it say it, or I actually need to guess it?
No, you've got to guess.
Okay. All right.
I mean, it's pretty... I mean, there are a few moments when it could work, to be honest.
All right.
But, yeah.
Perfect. All right.
Right.
Any questions before we get going?
No, I think I'm pretty good. I mean, I will keep up the tradition that Rise started. I'll play Dale as a Cockney, but
Right.
I will give him. I think I didn't hear Rye play him, but I'm going to give him more of a sense of wonder today as well. Like he's thinking deeply.
Okay, great.
Mm-hmm.
All right, very good.
Okay,
And
that works. Just a character choice.
Great.
Jess on the. Everyone doesn't have to do that. And Jess, do you want to go from the top?
Mm-hmm. Antarctica, written by George Martin.
Ara.
X'd.
Just the copyright stuff too, please.
Oh, okay. Copyright C 2020 Big Media Company draft number 17. Story pretty much locked off. George at bigmediacompany.com.
Right.
X'd. Rainforest morning.
Exterior.
The year is
Oh,
2010.
yeah, sorry. I was just going to say, we usually do say exterior.
Yeah, and can we
Week
start?
I
So we
actually
still
knew what
have
that
the
meant.
printed with demonstration version of Fade In. GB, I've spent
You don't have to
money
read
on
all
final
that.
draft. Yeah, I know, but it would be nice if he's taking this shit seriously. If we're doing it together, we need to be on the same ecosystem, and 2, we need to actually pay for the license.
Right.
So exterior, interior.
Well, you actually would say fade in too.
Yes,
I
you got to
was
say
gonna
the
say, do you
Fade
say
In.
the fade in? Yeah.
Yeah.
You would say the fade in. You don't read the watermarks on the page that relate to the copyright or the license issues with your software.
Okay.
But anything that helps paint the picture for someone listening, like a fade in or exterior rainforest. Yeah.
Okay. Fade in. Exterior, rainforest in the morning. The year is 2010. We fly through a beautifully lit rainforest. The sun shines through the trees. The morning dew glistens on the ground. We reach a group of 3 hiking in a single file. Dale is leading the charge.
Oh, the interesting thing about pine trees is they grow on every continent except one. Anyone guess what it is?
Probably Antarctica.
Yep, yeah, you've got it.
The group continues walking in silence. Dale begins whistling the tune of Kookaburra Sits in the Old Gum Tree.
Can anyone guess this tune?
Can we not play this? I think we're happy just walking in silence.
It was Down Under, Men at Work. There's a bit of a legal issue with that melody with the Kookaburra Sits the Old Gum Tree song. And to be honest, fair enough, they are a little bit similar.
Dale is interrupted by Brian.
Shh! Everyone, be quiet. I think they're here.
The group pauses and listens intently. Dale slowly pulls his backpack to the front of his chest and unzips his bag. It makes a really loud zip sound.
Oh, sorry about that. Forgot about that. You get the idea. I forgot about zips.
Brian mouths the words, "Shut up." Dale reaches into his bag and pulls out a hammer.
Well, what the hell are you doing?
Self-defense?
This is bird watching. We're not about to be killed.
Well, I won't be.
Guys, I think I hear footsteps.
Steve, an old bushranger type guy, walks out from behind a tree with a giant eagle chained to his leather glove.
Here for the bird watching.
Dale subtly puts away his hammer.
Oh, yeah, we are, mate.
That'd be $10 each.
I thought it was more of a public space thing where it's free for anyone. There's no ticket booth or anything. Who are you, anyway?
I'm Steve, but everyone calls me Bush Ranger Steve. Now give me $10 each, or I'll let this eagle poke out your bloody eyes.
Well, I'm cashless, mate.
Give me your watch then.
That's a little more than $10.
Dale, just give him the watch.
Are you kidding, mate? No.
All right then.
Dale's away here.
Bushranger Steve walks the eagle close to Dale's face and holds his arm out, gesturing for the eagle to peck at his eyes. The eagle sits there and does nothing.
Go on, peck. Peck. Gregory, peck.
Ouch!
Sorry.
Happy birthday. Happy wedding anniversary.
Big
Hamish, can you just hold on?
Oh, sorry. Sorry.
It's okay.
So the eagle, Gregory, gently pecks Dale on the arm and he draws blood.
Sorry, guys. Ouch!
All right, come on through.
Bushranger Steve gestures for the group to hold down the path and around the corner. They are greeted by 3 magpies on the ground.
Magnificent, aren't they?
This is it.
This is what?
The bird watching.
Well, they're birds, aren't they?
To be honest, I'm starting to feel one with the birds. I reckon I could do a perfect magpie call.
Go on, then. Yeah, let's hear it.
Brian proceeds to do a magpie call.
Oh, it's rubbish, mate. It's rubbish. Let me show you.
Dale
Damn it.
proceeds to do a magpie call. Within seconds, 10 to 15 magpies
wait,
come
wait.
flying down to
Hang
the
on.
ground.
Yeah.
It's not scripted.
Yeah, go.
Not bad. First time I've ever tried it. I mean, obviously work on it before we roll camera, but yeah.
Jesus. That's actually quite impressive.
Want to know the secret to a good magpie call?
Nah.
Always carry hot chips from either your local fish and chip shop or a Nando's. I can smell it from a mile away, mate.
Dale pulls out a hot chip and goes to eat it. A bird comes flying towards him to grab it, but ends up pecking him on the nipple, tearing a hole in his G-Star Raw t-shirt.
Specific.
It's a brand integration go along.
Gosh, I appreciate it. Look forward to the swag. Oh, for God's sake, not me G-Star.
Oh, honey, that's your favourite shirt.
I know, there's only 35 left at Just Jeans as well.
Well,
Another brand.
let's just try and enjoy the rest of our adventure. And when we get back
Yeah.
to town, I'll buy you a new shirt and maybe even get you a lottery ticket for being the best boyfriend.
Oh, do you know my numbers?
Of course, I do. 69, 3, 21, 1, 11, 24, and the lucky number 7.
Yeah, you've nailed it. And before we finish up, a question for the group. Do you know why I think 7 is a lucky number?
Why is that,
Why is that,
Dale?
Dale?
That's all of us together.
In sync, guys.
Because there's 7 continents. And as I mentioned at the start, to round this house out nicely, only one of them doesn't grow pine trees. Now, I'll remind you which continent that is, but it will be the last time I say it.
It was Antarctica.
It's Antarctica, yeah.
Dale turns to Wendy and grabs her hands.
Honey, we didn't come out here to go bird watching. The bird call was a fluke, and the peck on the nipple was unfortunate.
What's going on?
Bushranger Steve walks over to Dale and holds out his arm with the eagle. Dale opens up a little pocket on the eagle's leather cape and pulls out a ring.
God.
Dale gets down on one knee.
Wendy Smith, will you marry me?
Of course, yes.
All right.
Dale puts the ring on her finger and stands back up.
You know you've always wanted to go to Antarctica?
Yes.
Well, get your ice skates on, baby. I've booked us tickets to celebrate.
end scene.
Really good.
Wow.
This is great. I don't know if Dale fully understands the Antarctic continent, but we are skating, baby.
Woo!
Very good, GB.
Right.
Gee, that had everything, GB. Twists,
Thank
turns, nipple peck, Gregory Peck references, and
Yeah,
a
that was
proposal.
good.
So I don't know
Say-
where to take. I don't know where to write from here, GB. Like, is this?
Oh, he wants to hand back the writing duties.
I just want to get a sense of where this fits. So on the first episode, Dale bought a jet ski, because he was getting a tax, is getting tax back. He was getting $1,700 tax back, and he bought a jet ski. And then episode 2. What happened in episode 2,
Dale-
Jess?
He won the lottery.
He
Oh
won the
yeah,
lottery.
so Dale,
This story, yeah,
He lost
really
his
is
cool a
about.
little bit.
It kind of seems like it's mostly about Dale and a really crazy time in his life where he's. I mean, it's wild. He's getting engaged. He's winning the lottery. He's going to Antarctica. He's getting pecked.
The way I saw it, like this scene was set in 2010. So Wendy and Dale were just boyfriend and girlfriend, and this is how he proposed to her.
Because this is a
so
flashback.
this is a power move.
throwback.
So he's
So
gone
he's-
back to
Right.
You
Yeah,
wanted
you're right.
to-
No, that's
this
that's
is
good.
good.
That's smart.
That's
But
great.
he,
So
but
then
he
it
still
can
had
go
the some
either
kind
way.
had the kind of cash where he could fly people to
Right.
Antarctica for
True.
a celebration. What a jeez!
mean-
There's more to Dale than meets the eye. Let's find out
That
in
could be
coming
something
weeks.
else to discover.
I will say
Yeah, so-
locations for filming this is going to be an absolute nightmare.
This is the joy of script writing. Yeah, script writing versus producing. That's not the script writer's. That's not the script writer's job. He must, or she must honour the story and see where it takes them.
We could green screen this whole thing.
We could
I
green
was gonna say we
screen
could
it.
DIY it.
Yeah, I think it should be fine. And so, has everyone had fun?
I've had
That
fun.
was so much
Yeah.
fun.
Yes, thanks, Josh. I had a lot of fun.
Jess, did you have fun?
That was
Yeah,
scripted.
so much fun.
Okay, great.
I mean, what do you think
I'm
about
just
this
a-
for an idea?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should I now set, or should we as a team set the next location or something for Josh
yeah,
to
so-
start
yep,
in, at
nice.
least to and then it's up to you to
Give them some boundaries.
take that wherever you
Okay.
want.
So how
Bowling
do we
alley.
work this? How do we? Okay,
Bowling alley.
great.
There we
I
go.
do love a bowling alley.
That's their engagement party, yeah?
Or,
Well,
Who knows?
That could be
anniversary
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Who knows?
we can't
Maybe
be doing
2050.
too many sort of. If
celebration.
we're playing with time too much, I'm just worried that this is like I had to watch Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind in
Yeah,
Year
that's
12.
tricky.
I didn't understand it.
Yeah.
Oh, because of the jumping back and forward.
Yeah. It was
Yeah.
just a bit.
I
I
mean,
should
what
watch
if-
it
but
again.
What if we use
about
these
The Last
scripts
Dance?
as index cards and we kind of move them around? Does that
Yeah,
happen?
I'd
often?
love to use my index cards.
That's
But
a
I
great
reckon
idea.
I think the idea of just going like one suggestion at the end of a script doesn't have to be bowling alley, but then and then that's it, because otherwise it will become a bit like a theatre sports challenge where it's like bowling alley, 10 cats, 2 bowls of soup,
Yeah.
a German
Yeah, sure.
witch.
But that's not what
So-
Truckfest sort of became in the end, didn't it? Like, well, I guess they always had their.
I think they just had their signature item because just to stop you submitting a film you'd done 2 years ago
Sure.
that could just win.
Did you ever enter into Tropfest? I remember you hosted it back at the Sydney Myer Music Bowl in like.
Yeah, we
08,
hosted a few times. Never entered. I think I appeared in a few people's films from time to time, but
Uh-huh.
never. A guy from my old school. I think I've got a bit of face blindness. I never quite remember people, but I think a guy called Matt from the first high school I went to was a finalist and was on stage. Because I was like, I think that's Matt that I like from year 7, and then he was on stage in the Sydney bit. So we did. It was a grainy link too, so I couldn't really. Not a great story, but evidence that a lot of people went into Tropfest and
But
it was
did you
a great
find
experience.
out? Did you actually know Matt? Was it Matt?
I don't really care.
Poor Matt.
No, maybe I'm happy. I'm happy for that Matt, whether I went to school with him or not, because he made the final.
Yeah, no, I get it. Okay, well, I had heaps of fun. I think it's.
Great.
He's back. Are you back?
Yeah. I feel really good about it, and I think the.
Oh, that's great.
2 from 3.
Yeah, I think there's nothing else really to
Well,
do.
someone's got to break it to Tommy that he appears to be the jinx. on
Well,
this.
yeah. I mean, I think that I definitely came with it with a we were amateurs last week. There was no structure. No one knew what they were doing, and so I've taken responsibility. I think that we're on track. Is there anything that you would suggest in regards to future episodes, people we should get on, or just things to make sure that this, this does okay?
The fun
No,
continues.
this is great. I think having a quick recap at the start of each one's probably not a bad idea to go, here are our characters and here's where they're up to.
Sure. Would you like a trailer? Like if GB edited up like a 30-second bit where it cuts dialogue and things like that?
It will be tricky, giving GB a lot of work, but try it. But it's not. If that annoys you, GB, I give you full permission to not do it.
Well, GB, what do you think?
I mean, we've thought about this idea. I love the idea. I think I've just been kind of putting it off week to week, but maybe all right, I'll do it for this week.
Yeah,
for next week, I'll have a little some sort of
previously.
Okay.
Previously on. Yeah.
There was two other
as well.
Oh yes, Jess.
I think Dale's accent, it comes in and out. Like
Specifically on
the
Hamish's.
accent that Ryan had compared to the accent that Mason had, and now Hamish, it's kind of a little bit skewy.
I mean, mine was Scottish, so
Yeah, Mason.
You were Scottish,
That's
Irish, you
generous.
weren't one single
Ridiculous.
accent.
Weren't you trying to do
Yeah.
American as well at one point?
yeah, no, I
Yeah.
did.
Look, to be honest, because that character seems to be jumping around Dale, I don't want to direct the screenwriting in any way, but maybe there's something to that. That there's this character that whose accent just seems to be a little bit off.
Oh, that's a good. Maybe went to an international school.
Yeah.
There could be that, or there could be
Or he
more to
has
him than meets
bipolar.
the eye.
Yeah, that could be
Yeah,
it.
it could be that. Yeah, it could have
And this was
multiple
10
personality
years-
disorder.
Multiple personalities,
This
yeah.
was 10 years before Mason played Dale, so
But when did
Voice
Ryan
changes.
play
What
Dale?
happened?
Oh, because 2020. Okay,
Okay.
yeah, sure. All right. Well, yeah, I think this is good. And the other,
But you
two-
just got to ask yourself, I mean, how much do we know about this guy? Is he even British, or is this just some sort of shyster?
Well, so GB and I watched the
he is.
masterclass of Aaron Sorkin, who wrote The Social Network and what else?
West
Steve
Wing.
Jobs and all that sort of thing. Yeah, we watched the masterclass, and Aaron talks about not doing the whole back character stuff, like building it. He's like, don't worry about that. It's all what's on screen. Just write that. What's your take? Do you think that we should do it that way, or should we go and create a whole world for Dale? Should Dale have his own Instagram account and like this is what he would eat for dinner?
No, I mean that wouldn't be my natural inkling, but I mean, yeah, I always favoured the school of just going, hey, the only thing that's real is really what's written. If you want to imagine some stuff to flesh that character out, and that's your take, sure, that's why you have actors, because they're very good at doing that. But I don't think we need to prescribe a world for any actors coming into Dale. Let's let them bring their own fresh take to it. Dale's a vessel, and he simply holds each actor's new take.
Mm-hmm. No, I appreciate that. How do you think that we should end? Like, I was thinking it would be nice to have some sort of ending where GB or myself, we say a line which is like, go out and write.
That's all, folks.
Or that's all,
right.
yeah. What do you think could be? Sort
Oh,
of
you mean like at the end of Ellen, like a.
What does Ellen do? She tells
be
all
kind
of
to each other.
I thought
She
she
says,
tells
"Get
her
the fuck
crew to
out of
fuck
here!
off."
Stop looking at Don't you
Breath
fucking look at
stinks.
me."
You fucking go on. What do you think? Okay, by the way,
No, so
why is news.com.au? I don't know if you've realised, but I reckon every day
Don't read it.
there's an Ellen DeGeneres story. Like, I'm trying to get better at my news consumption. What do you consume?
I mean, I don't.
You're a Daily
I don't.
Mail guy.
Yeah, Daily Mail, straight to the source. I like to read the news as if it was transcribed by an 8-year-old reading Instagram, describing the color of pants someone wore as they dared to flaunt their body at the beach. I don't go to news.com on news. I sometimes read The Guardian, and that's about it. But I try to check in just every couple of days. Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter. No one needs me to be across the news.
Did you watch the debate? Like, do you get into the? You didn't.
But I saw it was a mess. But I wasn't. Were we expecting it to be anything but?
No.
It was never going to be two gentlemen coming out and politely allowing the other to talk. But yeah, so my guess for why news.com is doing that would just be, dare I say, outrage and clicks.
Mm-hmm.
Dare I say.
Unlike them. But
Okay.
and so the end. Keep on writing.
I think what you
and
said
have
last
fun.
time was great.
What did I say?
Oh yeah, that's nice.
I said
Well,
this
you-
is
you
fucked. I'm
ended-
done. what did I say?
Yeah.
You
You said that's a wrap.
You
as
said
the
that's
last
a wrap.
one.
Oh yeah, great. Okay.
And that's a wrap.
Well, thank
But
you.
would you say
Hamish.
that at a table read? You wouldn't say that at a table read, would you?
Probably at a table would be like, thanks. Usually the table reads up and it's like, well, thanks for your time, everyone, because it's always like everyone's just always donated their time. Like, thanks for your time, everyone. Stick around, have a biscuit.
Oh
I
yeah,
reckon
that's good. Oh,
that was
that's
like
great.
that's
great.
probably because
Okay.
you're usually quite. Oh no, stick around and have some food because you can never, you couldn't ever afford to pay actors what they're worth for their time.
Sure.
But you can provide sandwiches. So I would actually, usually you will highlight the catering at the end of a table read.
All right, I'll do that. And I think like I'll add some realism to it by. All right, so well, thanks everyone for coming. That was amazing. Very excited to see this film in action. Now make sure either have a sandwich now or take them home. I can't eat that many sandwiches and they're going to go to waste.
Oh wow, sandwiches.
But there's some really nice tuna salad ones which are very fresh. But anyway, thank you everyone, and help yourselves to some bickies as well. All right, bye.
Oh wow, Bickies as well. Great. Yeah, that's actually
You got the
that's
fruit
spot
butter.
on.
Perfect.
That's spot on.
All right. Well, if you enjoyed the show, subscribe to Screenplay Sunday or the daily talk show, Hump Day Replay, all the other podcasts we do. All right. Enjoy your Sunday, everyone. Bye.
Hey, lots of fun. I'll have a sandwich.
All right. Thank you.